Episode 29, Breakaway, a new week, new banter,
New set.
new people to upset, and Bryce beat me to it. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our new set. You are our day one, guest one of the new Active Hobo set, which is not finished, but what do you think?
It's looking good. I mean, my first podcast I've ever been on, so I'm impressed.
I hope we set the bar high.
For sure.
Before I go any further, massive thank you to Brendan Stevens for helping me piece this together. Everything you see, every piece of wood that was cut there, every piece of paint, every nail, every mount, everything has been done by hand, and I couldn't be able to do it without you. So Brendan, thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, we are joined by Bryce. Anita, who was on a week ago, said she knows stories is what we're all about. She's like, you have to meet Bryce. As is the way of things, I'll go out of my way to not research people that I meet, so I have an authentic, real experience. So Bryce is going to give us a bit of background, why you, Anita, thinks it's so critical that we chat to you. You have some interesting industry experience, having worked at C6. You've done some amazing stuff, and truly you have a heroic story to tell. So I'm excited for us to get to that point.
Cool.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here.
Bryce, we are going to just catch up on, we're going to reflect, shall we say, on some of the
Recent developments.
I say these things so often. It's like, if you don't know my sense of humor, I tend to over-exaggerate things, normally comically. So when I refer to chain wax being available at your bike store, in this instance, Freewheel, Cycle Lab, N1 City, Complete Cyclist, eCity Cycles, our locals, as the biggest breakthrough and technological developments. Fundamentally, I'm being comical. It's less funny when you have to explain it, but we've had some chain wax banter. Then why go to a bike shop to wax your chain? Feedback. We've had lots of positive feedback as well, direct and otherwise. I'd like to just chat about that. We're going to talk about wheels, which we have not done yet. We haven't done like a proper deep dive on this channel before. We're talking Aero, carbon, gravel, race wheels in specific. So we're going to cover that. Twitter Fem, I think it would be criminal to not wrap up what I think is probably been the most exciting bike race of the year by many measures.
That was amazing.
I do want to chat a bit about nutrition as well, and then we'll see where else we land up.
Cool.
Let's start with last week and just reflect on. So we spoke about in the Road to Gravel Burn series. If you go to our playlist, you'll see there's a Road to Gravel Burn there, which is how far can I push myself ahead of gravel burn, how fit can I get, watts per kg being like sort of the ultimate measure, and a bunch of other things Science to Sport benchmarked. So we're covering all sorts of things leading up to that. Last week's focus was nutrition. Did you happen to watch that at all? Did you dabble in there?
Yeah.
So we had lots of interesting feedback. It only came out on Sunday, so when I say lots, we're talking like 5. We typically get DMs and emails. There's generally the negative sentiments are left on YouTube as comment, which I appreciate. Like, please, if you have something to say, that 100%. And I think one of the most interesting bits of feedback that I certainly took out from reading what other people had to say, but also just reflecting myself, is, do you mix between brands? Typically people don't. If you speak to someone about nutrition, and I'm going to ask you the same question, it's like, I use Cadence, 226s, Amex, whatever it is, period. It's a lot like marriage. It's not like, so how's your wife's situation?
No.
No, we're not. Jay-Z, on the other hand, that's a very different story. He's got a couple. And what I found really interesting from last week, having done basically fueling hard sessions all at 80 grams per hour, give or take, with 226s, Cadence, and Amex. It was just interesting. I've never done that. So I've never gone all in on each of the brands back to back. What do you do? Where do you sit on the fence? So you also
So before Gravel Burn, I mean, obviously they're sponsored by Amex.
Yeah.
And we went to an event and they were handing out samples, and my dad just said, why don't we try this stuff? Because it's going to be on the race. It's going to be available. So he bought a full starter pack with the shake and the gels and the bars, and we just went at max and left it at that. Tried that for a couple of weeks, actually a couple of months before the race, and then came gravel burn. That's what we had. No stomach issues, and because that's the biggest concern, is really messing up your gut with gels and different goos and nutrition. So sticking with one thing we found was the best way to go. But I mean, we weren't really trying everything, and I haven't done that much before.
So you and the married to my brand camp.
Yeah, I mean, I personally like Amex. It's not very thick. It's not like you're trying to chew down peanut butter.
Allergic.
It's
low reference point.
Okay. it's very fluid and it's easy to chug down. So I mean, that was quite practical for me. Also, being in a wheelchair, I can only do one hand at a time. I can't sit up because then I'm falling over. And yeah, it just made more sense for me.
Have you got some B-roll of you riding that will help us better understand?
I've got some stills.
It'll be good to see.
Yeah.
Do you want to just explain that for anyone that doesn't understand?
So I mean, I'm in a wheelchair. I'm not sure if the cameras can pick that up, but yeah, I was given the opportunity to do gravel burn after I got a bowhead adaptive mountain bike, and it's been an amazing journey. 3 years ago, I broke my back, basically, and just figuring out how to make my way back into the sport as a para athlete. And it's been an awesome journey. People have been so supportive. I've had people come up to me from all over and just say that I'm an inspiration. And it means a lot to me to kind of be out there and show what is possible to those that don't really know what they can and can't do, and just to get out there, enjoy life again.
Good for you. It is inspiring.
Thank you.
It's difficult to wrap your head around, to be honest. Like the first time you hear about it, it takes a while to like comprehend it, actually. But I cannot imagine how empowering it must be for people that, succumb to injuries like this and land up in that position to see someone, gravel burn. For anyone who doesn't know, how was your gravel burn?
Oh, it was an amazing experience. So Kevin, my dad grew up with Kevin, and he started with him on the Cape Epic, been involved. I've been involved in the Cape Epic since I was a lightie, going to all the events, being a part of the bike park, the bike wash, staying in the truck, driving around all the stages. And yeah, cycling's been a part of my life since before I could remember. And when I had my accident and I found out about this bike, Kevin came to me and said, "I'm doing this race. Would you be keen? Do you think you'd finish?" is what he said. And I'm a bit arrogant sometimes. And I said, yeah, it'll be fine.
No problem.
And I think that was, I'm not sure if that was before I had the bike. So very, very full of myself. But he helped sponsor me the bike, get me there, and just make it all happen. So I'm grateful to
Kevin.
him.
Respect, man.
And getting to the race, did the training camp a month before. That's where I actually met Janita. We were doing the ride together, and she's sponsored by Kim Champ, and we were riding with her, and kind of created a bit of a bond, and then have subsequently made quite a nice relationship.
She's a beautiful soul.
Yeah.
You must come and join our Zone 2 only squad. It's the only person in the whole of Cape Town, other than Charles Kemp, who's just so weak he can't do anything other than Zone 2. Janita will ride 5 hours at Zone 2.
Sure.
That being said, for anyone that doesn't understand, how is it possible that you ride a bike?
So,
explain practically how that actually works. Because it's not what.
So it is. So people get confused. Ask how do you ride? Is it just like a different wheelchair? So there's a difference. There's wheelchairs and there bikes.
Yes.
So wheelchair, I'm grabbing onto the wheels, and I'm pushing. And then there's wheelchairs, racing, wheelchair, marathon. And it's always, your hands are basically on the wheels.
Okay.
You're pushing. With a bike, there are pedals and there's a chain. I've got a SRAM derailleur, gear set. Basically, if you looked at the rear of the bike, it looks like a normal bicycle. But once you see where I'm sitting, how I steer, it's a completely different story. But it's an amazing machine. I love it. Take it down to Kai, down the single track. I can do jumps. It's really, really proper.
Bryce Carter, it goes without saying, this is going to be a B-roll intense episode. I can't. So we are going to do a Bryce proper story. We will get to that. But I said to Janita, as a person that tends to do not dream, it's like, this doesn't need to wait. So that will come, but we'll layer in as much there. And I think that context is important. I think the inspiration and the hope within your own story is amazing, but for everything you hear hereafter, know that that is what this incredible human has achieved. I can't begin to even try and articulate and express how much you inspire me. Sitting there feeling sorry for myself. My daughter had her 18th on Saturday, and we're going to drop them at Halo and then leave. 2 a.m. We're still at it. And I was like, don't you dare sit and pity yourself. Like, be grateful for the ability that you have and be prepared to work for the privilege we have to do what we do. So more on that story to come. But you're an absolute legend.
Thank you.
Nutrition. Back to the record. Can you just look on YouTube, our poll that was put up on the weekend, just so we can get the up-to-date percentages. But I actually asked on a poll, and the options were, do you mix? And it's basically no, yes, or the classic, when there's free gels handed out at an event, I'll try them. It goes into a cupboard. You're desperate. You forgot to buy. You take it out. So you are married to your brand. It works for you. There's no reason to change. And I think that is a big percentile of people, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But I do think as a general rule for life and within cycling, it is a good idea to venture out. And I asked my last question back to one of the YouTube comment threads I'm on the wax chain thing, was just out of interest, have you tried the thing that we're now debating the merits of over? My general thing as a person is try things. Inspired by the Nike marketing slogan, forever just do it. It's like, just try, like, what's the worst that can happen? And rather speak from a perspective of, I have a reference point.
Some experience.
More often than not, my assumptions are wrong. And you have you just significantly broaden your horizon if you try things.
We're here to learn. I mean, we want to find out what's best. So if you don't try everything, you're not going to ever find out. So,
nutrition-wise, you stuck to a brand. Have you tried fueling at different grams per hour? Have you dabbled much there, or do you have stuck to?
I have an interesting anecdote because I'm only using my arms. It's obviously no leg power. The arm is a lot smaller of a muscle than your legs.
Fair.
And so this bike's an e-bike. So I've got an extra boost. I sit around 40 to 60 grams per hour, as opposed to like the standard 110 is what the guys that are.
When you say that, standard, but 40, 60 is.
I mean, even less sometimes, but a very, very low amount compared to, say, my dad, who's riding at a similar pace and we're the same size.
Okay.
So that I've found interesting, and I don't need any more.
And you don't bonk, you don't run out of energy, you stay good.
I mean, after...
So it's also like your back, and like there's a lot of...
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of muscles,
a lot of things involved.
But the simple fact that I'm simply half the person, for lack of better description, I just don't use as much energy.
Okay.
And yeah, the first time I did a long ride, I found that like very fascinating, which was Race to the Sea, which was 160 Ks.
And you stuck to that, 40 to 60 golden.
It was great.
Yeah, I think So I'm prepping myself to fuel for how I'm going to fuel a gravel burn. I've got Sedgefield 500 at the end of the month. We'll do a separate video on that. Race to the Sea after that. All of which I'll fuel bar and cab. Sedgefield is 510 Ks at like zone 1. That will definitely not be fueled the same.
Yeah.
But you don't need to. I was watching on the trainer this morning, 0 grams in the bottle. It was a fasted ride. And it was, I'll try and find the link that I listened to and I'll put it up. It's really interesting. The guy basically breaks down, based on the science, how much should you be fueling under half an hour, basically nothing. Above an hour, it's so much, 30, an hour to hour and a half, they're at about 60 and then beyond that. And, then you go to elites, the 100, 120. I don't think I'll ever need to fuel at that level. I don't think I'll ever be able to ride hard enough to push myself to that level. So most of us actually sit from reading that and, the many people I've spoken to, 60 to 80 is kind of where you're going to be. 90 is the theoretical maximum that you can take in. 60 and 30, we've heard this now thousands of times. And that's a lot. That's like...
the 2 Norwegian Ironman triathletes, and they are really, they have been pushing the limit for years. And they're pushing like 140. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
and they're winning. Well, they were at a stage where they were winning all the Ironmans, half Ironmans, and they did all the science. They had a proper science-based coach.
I dig that someone's doing that.
Yeah.
I dig that someone's pushing the envelope to that point. It's just people forget so often that is so far into the extreme of the sport. It's almost irrelevant.
Yeah,
it's so extreme. Like I would even consider bringing it back down to sort of a normal, but still not normal. Like Dan Loebscher, as someone who's articulates a lot, he's fueling, he posts really well about it. He's very scientific. He's very into his nutrition. I really appreciate his opinion a lot. As a reference point, he is even irrelevant. I will never be able to ride at the level that he does. As committed as I am, this is not because I don't have self-belief, I'm a realist. Like, the level that he fuels at is irrelevant. Like, I will never need to push the envelope to the point that he does. And it's, anyway, that all being said, I think how easy it is to reach your target optimal goal per hour with the multitude of products we have available at so many different variations, like really immersing myself in it is amazing. And my urge for people based on just what I've learned over the last 2 weeks, really, of like really applying myself to this beyond what I normally do, is just go and try.
Yeah.
Go and take, I know it's a lot of money, $500, and go and buy the extra small and the large high fructose, high energy 2-6 gel. Go and buy the black and the blue range Amex. Go and buy they're not available yet. I think they will be available as of today. I was just chatting to Chris earlier from Cadence. Go and buy their 3 gels. Go and buy the Voom USN ones and like whatever. Try a bunch of them and fuel on them for no reason other than just to know. And when we spend so much time and money on the sport anyway, like just random things to go and do just to see. My point of view was I wanted to see if there was a performance difference. Then I wanted to see if I'd have any gut issues. All 3 brands, same week at 80 grams an hour, no issue. Amex and Cadence, you're 100% right. A lot more liquidy. Funny enough, I like a bit of a thicker one. I like chewing it a bit. 2-6s have runnier gels, but the majority of them are a bit thicker. I actually put my gels in the fridge to make them extra.
Oh, really?
A little bit.
Oh, wow.
I feel like I'm got a bit of substance in there. And I tend to less mess with that when I'm getting it in my mouth. If you get it wrong, it's like and it's quite runny. That's sticky hands. It freaks me out.
Don't know how those guys do it at 60 k's an hour down a French bloody...
See Charles Kemp. You know Charles Kemp?
Yeah.
He rides, gives me so much anxiety. We'll be on a gravel road, 40 k's an hour, and it's because he knows he looks good and because he's done so many selfie videos doing the stance.
Yeah.
He sits up and rides. He can do his nails back here. He has glasses on, off, it's camera out, and he's sitting, pedaling.
Yeah.
I'm like 230, 240 riding both hands on the bar, and we're like going over like some gnarly terrain. There's some talented, balanced individuals out there. Raymond, did you see the stats?
56 says yes, always room to improve. 44% no sticking to what I know works.
So 56% of people said yes, they dabble, they try different stuff. Okay, and then what percent said no?
44 no, sticking to what works.
44% no, stick to what we know. And then the other one was? 0%. I love it. It's yes or no, black and white. How many people responded to it? Can you see there? Because if it was like 3 people, then it throws that. Okay. So it was out on a Sunday. So if you haven't seen that poll, please go and vote. If you want to, or just comment, let us know like what you think, pros, cons. My takeout is we have tons of premium nutrition and at loads of different options, and like there's so many different additives across all the different ranges. It's become very easy to fuel. You can't ignore the elephant in the room. It's expensive. My ride cost me for 5 hours fueling at that level, which isn't necessary. You don't have to fuel like that. It's about $500 on the premium stuff. I'll work it out on cadence, but it was, a bit less. It's not cheap. The sport isn't cheap. But my mom reminded me, who's an avid golfer, that every time she goes and wants to practice her sport, it costs her $500 to 1,000 Rand, depending on what golf course you're at. So, and then you still got to go to halfway house, and you still got to go to the 19th hole. And so,
Goodness.
Any final thoughts on nutrition?
No, I mean, I just like my Amex. Stick to that. And I have there are issues that I encounter because I'm in a wheelchair. Excuse me. No, I just sticking to what works is best. Yeah.
I'm going to try, and you may want to come a week or two after this. I'm going to try and create gut distress and blend my own
concoction,
my own stuff, because that's the other, like, if you in the YouTube rabbit hole, it's mix your own fuel. Sports nutrition is a scam. Like, do it yourself, which fundamentally I don't believe, but I also can't plead ignorance. So I'm going to go and try it and see. As we are sold like you don't want gut distress, I'm like, okay, let me go and see what gut distress is. I've never had it, but I've also only ever fueled properly. I came from no fuel game, Energade, literally. That was like when we start cycling, I think most of us, with our yellow first accent jackets, we've all had that in the range, and then went to pretty much transition from there to cadence and to sixes. So I've never really never used nutrition ever, good or a bad thing. What I will say is that last week was my best week ever in terms of legs, fuel, performance, efforts. Like, the difference between fueling and not fueling, it feels like doping. It is massive differences.
If you do it properly, it can be.
Sure. Yeah. I cannot afford to fuel every week of my life at that level. Like, there's no question. I've got 2 5-hour rides on a weekend now, building up, and 2 hard efforts during the week. That would cost me, no matter what brand I'm using, an excessive amount that I can't afford. And I'm spending money on bio, on training. So, like, everyone has limits. And I think it's about balancing what you can and can't afford. Much as I can't have blood clip every night of my life, I can't have those things. But when you do need to train and you are in a block, there's such a significant performance gain from it. Which should actually be the main take out of last week.
Cool. Actually, last thing, my dad's the hyena for the Cape Epic.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I need to mention it. Explain to anyone who doesn't know what that is.
So the Cape Epic, obviously we all know the Cape Epic, but at the back of the race, there's always a pair of riders, and they basically sweep everyone. They stay with the final rider, and then they'll get to the next water point, make sure they're safe. And so he's riding the whole event, but just making sure that everyone gets either to the next water point or to the finish. And
technically, he's the last rider.
He's the last. He's on the track the longest. Like, some days is 9 hours, which is ridiculous. And him and Richard McMartin. And he fuels on exclusively honey and Drovos.
Do you have any idea what his average heart rate is at? How hard is he pushing?
I mean, he's not pushing. No, he's not pushing. I mean, sometimes they have to get off the bike because the last ride is so slow, and they're walking with these guys, so they're just out there.
See now, fresh out of my data
Yeah.
deep dive of this morning on the trainer, it's like if you're riding at that intensity,
Yeah,
you can literally fuel on anything.
yeah. But yeah, he has no issues.
I've bonked 4 weekends in a row
Oh, really?
trying to see with the minimum I could fuel on the 5-hour rides. 3-4 hours. Like the last half hour, anyone that doesn't, please comment on YouTube what I've been like the last 3 times. I've done all of them out there. Gravel, 5 hours, hour 3.5, 4. It's like
Nothing.
brew, nothing. So the first hour and a half, 2 hours, I'll fuel, but I'll intentionally underfuel to see. And it's, your dad is probably a mega athlete and has millions of years, but nutrition is...
He's finished an Ironman. Yeah, he knows what he's doing.
Finished an Ironman.
Yeah. Yeah. I used to do proper
That's
triathlons.
bucket list.
Yeah. But no, he sticks to his honey and his jaws.
Honey and dribbles.
Yeah, it's great.
He's going to have to come on next week and come talk to us. The nutrition rabbit hole deepens.
Yeah.
What have we missed? What have we got wrong? What are you doing? Please let us know in the comments. Quickly on the chain wax thing. This might become like an evolving thing.
Yeah, it'll be a weekly occurrence.
I want to just reiterate for the sake of clarity. And this is open-ended. And to the guys that are commenting on YouTube, like I really do appreciate it. Like I enjoy the back and forth. We are not designed to agree on everything as humans. Like it's a good thing. I hope that you'll continue to watch and see this episode as well, because that is what this thing is for. We are by no means or stretch of the imagination a performance, high-tech, pro-backed podcast. We are largely enthusiasts that love what we do and are sharing our experiences of things as we go through. Do I use Claude to help inform my research on things? I absolutely do. This is, believe it or not, a side hustle. We do this out of passion. It is loss-making until now. We've got some partners that are coming behind us that are going to help us make this sustainable. More on that later on when we officially unveil this with all the bells and whistles. But when something like chain wax comes along, my vantage point on it was literally that I do not have to have stains on my hands, ankles, calf, or socks, or kit ever again. I loathe it so much. So when I went and took my bike, I go to the bike shop often. I dig it. I think for anyone that isn't regularly popping into a bike shop, go and pop into a bike shop. It is so important for the industry. It is important for us as humans. It is like, spend time at your bike shop. Do you go to your bike shop? Are you a bike shop guy?
Occasionally. Not as much as I used to.
Okay.
Yeah, but
As we've changed as humans, there is less of that. People, generally speaking, are busier than ever, more transactional than ever. Craig Curry, where we started, the late Craig Curry, bless his soul. I don't know that this podcast would exist, or I would have done a single thing in cycling were it not for him. Yeah. He was why we cycled. He was such a legend. Owner-run bike store. The community is literally built around it. Like you'd go there at any time of the day and you'd bump into 5 people that you know that are also just popping in quickly. And it would be banter and it's just like, we are humans. We are meant to connect, spend time in your bike shop. I think more than anything, that for me is the thing. So I am regularly in the bike shop, freewheel, gear change, Cycle Lab, N1 City, all over the show. E-City Cycles, and they've got bootleggers, and then right next to bootleggers, N1 Bagel, it's ridiculous. Clubhouse in town, Ollie's, I love it. Absolutely love it. We have a little cafe here, we try and create the same thing, and there's almost always a bike in the car, loaded, whatever. It's an easy thing to take it there. And while you're there, it's like, have you done the chain wax thing? I don't nerd out on chain wax and bike lube. It's an irritation for me. I clean my bike after every ride because I like things to be clean, but chain lube for me it's an irritation.
Same here. I've got 3 chains.
So you even worse. Still.
Even worse.
So I'm gonna get to your chain in a moment. Your chains.
Yeah.
So my whole thing on this chain, Max, was I've no idea. I don't care about the micro gains if there are any, but cool. Like if you tell me I can run my hand along it and it's not going to be dirty, I'm all in. And it's now 3 chains later, 3 different bikes. We've had rain. I've ridden all 3 of them. And this morning, just on the way here, never mind on the way here. Let me show you.
Nothing. Goodness.
Nothing.
And he is gripping that chain. Goodness. And then there you go.
Normal lube. Hate this. Chain mix. So
Great.
I didn't actually plan this, and I've got this fucking grease on my hands. That is my point. This is worth 350 Rand to me at a shop that I'm at anyway.
Once every
What
moon.
gains do I have on that one versus that one? Ek weet nie.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yes, I did look at Claude to help me understand what some of the data is. This is why I love YouTube in the comments. The guy then said, well, that article is actually disputed. And so I then went back in and looked again. And they were how you test in a lab and load and all the different conditions of cycling. So is a waxed chain faster? Does it last longer? There's a lot of data that suggests it isn't. There's a lot of people that have suggested no. The people that are investing in the reports have a vested interest in selling the products that they're involved. There's a whole bunch of nuance there. Do not take my word for it that a wax chain is going to make you faster or last longer. Do your own research. My anecdotal experience having ridden with them, not a beep, not a sound, no grinding. It's a couple hundred on each of them, and I don't care.
Yeah.
That is my solve. Yeah. So that is just the chain wax thing.
Can forget about it pretty much.
Any more comments on this, please drop in and let me know. This is driving me insane. If there's a cloth back there, Record, please can I have it? Tell me about your perspective on this, because you mentioned you've got 3 chains.
I've got 3 chains. So I'm pedaling. There's a chain going down, then there's a second chain that runs underneath me, and a third chain, which is a standard mountain bike chain. The other 2 are single speed chains. Third one's a standard mountain bike chain. And I only had that one waxed for the gravel burn, and I had no issues. So yeah, I tend to think it was a good decision. But yeah, I also still need to try out a few more things, and maybe the next time do all 3.
And you say you got it waxed for gravel burn. Was there a reason you waxed it for gravel burn? What was
just because it's a long week out on the bike.
What did you believe the wax would do?
Thank you. Very dusty out there, and just prevent build up on the chain. Not have to worry about making sure it's properly lubed every morning. Because on a race, you only have so much time before the start of every stage. So just not having to worry about that in the morning, and just getting on the bike and setting out. So
and your anecdotal experience,
it worked for me. Yeah.
Okay. That's as much as we can do here. Like, what is your experience? Wasn't. What I would like to do is ask anyone that has waxed their chain and had a negative experience, whatever that may be, please let us know. Because thus far, maybe I'm only speaking to people that are on the Kool-Aid, but thus far it is good news all around.
Yeah.
It's very important to mention that I do not secretly own Silka or any additive manufacturing business that makes hundreds of millions from selling chain wax, or I'm not shorting the stocks of Squirt's chain lube. This is purely anecdotal usage. But I'm so glad that there's some conversation of any sort.
There's discussion. It's good.
Chain wax out of the way.
Wheels.
So wheels. Let's go wheels before we get into Tour de France.
Yeah.
Before I get to the wheels, the one thing I do just want to mention is one of our channel partners, Innerspace. We have a much more attractive sign being manufactured for them. They're a performance and distribution business. They're pretty niche focused on the nutrition, sports goods space. Basically what they do is they will warehouse your stock, they'll pack it, they'll get it delivered to your customers, and they charge you a fixed rate per delivery. No warehousing overheads, don't have to have all the buildings, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And they function from within the Innerspace, which is like a co-working space for industrial and distribution businesses. And the fulfillment business operates within that. Devin Kearns rides. He's from within our community. He owns this business, so he's very much in the industry.
Yeah.
They're an amazing provider. If you own a business, if you're distributing stuff throughout South Africa, you don't just have to be in the sporting goods space or any of these things. They've got a pretty expansive offering. We'll put up their link. It'll be in the description as well. Please let Devin know. They're doing some incredible stuff there. Devin, thank you for your support. We appreciate you being involved with the channel and wish you well with all the training you're busy doing. For, I believe, on to Wales. He's got to hang on Miguel's wheels from RDX. He's going to cut. Wheels. We have not seen, so one of my favorite YouTube channels is Bicycle Station. Are you familiar with them?
Actually, no.
A bunch of Americans, guy named Jesse. They do so much cool shit. So they sell Envy, they sell spares, they sell tires. They're a bike shop, and they go and do ultra races, so 300 miles, 160, all that kind of stuff, among others. Which resonates deeply with what I'm interested in. They also own the bike shop, so they have got subject matter expertise. Alec, who you haven't met yet, he's been away doing a mental adventure. We'll cover his story next week. The TCR. He's run a bike shop, worked at Freewheel actually as a senior mechanic for a while. So he's got that ability. He can do stuff. Also digs riding a bike. So there's just a lot of common ground with him. Anyway, long story short, they, among other people, have done gravel wheel shootouts. And I was just like, in the spirit of what we do here, I haven't seen, and if there is, please share it with me, a gravel wheel shootout of that with those brands done locally with modern internal rim widths, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So us being naive, ignorant, and full of passion and self-belief, we're like, well, how hard can it be?
How hard can it be?
So tomorrow, which will be Wednesday, we will be heading out with David from Gear Change, Jared from E-City Cycles, and myself on 3 different bikes. You'll have to watch the episode to see what they are. And 4 different sets of wheels. C6, their latest and greatest, super deep wheel set. Haven't seen them either. You can't see pictures on their website. It's like literally just hot off the press. Mark, thank you for borrowing us a set of demo wheels for that. Envy 4.5s. I really wish we had the 6.7s, but those are not available. So Jared's going to be hooking us up with a set of 4.5s. You can't not have the zips, and then revolves. These exact ones that the Terra Aero CLs.
Perfect.
And we're going to all run all 4 wheels on all 3 bikes, all on the same tires.
Perfect.
50 mil traces.
You can only do 50 on gravel.
50 mil traces, which is, the reason being is because every bike we tested in the gravel review series pretty much could take a 50 mil. We know things are going wider. I don't think mass market is at a 2.1, 2.2 yet. We will follow this episode up with a tire shootout. So tons of cool shit happening there. We're going to shoot that this Wednesday. It should come out on Sunday as part of the Road to Gravel Burn series. So you've got that to look forward to. Do you have a view on wheels?
So,
Aero,
Aero.
lightweight, where are you at?
I used to build wheels at C6. That was one of my many jobs. And I have a fascination, especially with the 32s coming out and being a big part of
32s. What are you referring to?
32-inch wheels.
Oh, the 32-inch wheel.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm just waiting.
Oh no! Please.
Because I'm a big.
And
guy.
you just went straight to the 32s. You didn't even bother with our lightweight versus Aero.
No.
Is he talking about internal rim width?
No, I've never actually ridden a gravel bike.
Okay.
So, I've been mountain biking my whole life, and I'm a big guy, 6'4".
Okay.
So now 32, I'm interested to see how that works on gravel. That's what I'm interested in.
What's your hunch? Because you're well informed.
Yeah. Because, my bike they come with 20-inch wheels, so they're tiny. And going over corrugations is a absolute ball ache.
Yeah, I must be.
So I've upgraded to 24s on the front, 27.5 on the back. And that gives me a lot more a lot less rolling resistance.
Notable, day and night.
It's like, I mean, it's a 20% increase. So it's a lot. But then, so 29, which is pretty much where the gravel wheels are at now, going up to 32, that's almost a 10% increase. So, I mean, if you can get over those, especially with corrugations, if you can get over those humps, you can blitz down roads. So that's my intrigue.
If I got slated for chain wax and going to a bike shop, 32 is I'm going to be absolutely reamed.
No, but Aero, I mean, that's what C6 had. They were busy transitioning while I was there from the standard to the more Aero style. And yeah, I was building lots of those. They were really flying out the door. So I think there's
Did you ever get involved in this 60, the current wheel set, which is...
No.
Okay.
No, I've been out of there.
Because they aggressive. We're talking 60 mil, like proper deep Aero.
I mean, so they were quite...
I'm so tempted to bring up the spec sheets and show you what we're already looking at, but I don't want to.
They were quite deep when I was there. But yeah, I'm interested to see where they are now.
Okay.
But
Bicycle stations testing, and again, you always have to sort of caveat this with marginal gains. 100%. It's like, are you going to, if Taddy's on aluminium wheels and you're on the deepest Aero 6.7s from Envy, are you going to beat him? No. I'm surprised. But we live in a world where we're in the sport. You want to upgrade, you get a bonus, whatever. Typically looking at wheels, like the sense checking of, is every penny you spend worth it? Like there gets to a point where it's like, you stop thinking about that. Like I'm buying a set of wheels or I'm buying a bike complete. I have options. Which of them is the best? It's kind of the viewpoints I'm looking at it at. I haven't really gone aluminium worst spec wheel against them. We will at some point do that. That will be an evolution of where we go. This is more taking the top end of the sport. These are all premium products. Don't get me wrong. I don't think there's a single one of them under 30 grand. And they go up much higher than that.
It's crazy.
There's a cost to these things. Like there's no question. This is, that is
the sport.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funding the innovation. It's got
these guys are that part of the conversation. People get locked there, and I'm not going to get into are expensive wheels worth it or not? No. Typically speaking, if you're an average cyclist, like definitely don't go and like mortgage your house to get a set of wheels. If you are buying wheels and if you are in the market and if you have the disposable income, is there a benefit? There absolutely is. Is it speed all the time? Not always. There's a lot of feel, there's a lot of comfort, there's a lot of, the internal rim width versus external, the aerodynamics, all of that stuff, it's tested and it's there, but the gains are marginal. Like if you look at Envy's own data set that they put up, Bicycle Station, Dave Arthur, they've all referenced the same content. It is marginal. It 100% is. The guys at Bicycle Station, they do an out and back.
Yeah.
And it's like 6 minutes, 7 seconds, or 6 minutes, 10 seconds, I think, were the slowest. And the fastest wheels came back 5 minutes, 50. Now, it's on a short course. You can extrapolate that over a distance.
Yeah.
It could make minutes difference. If
But are we racing every weekend? Is it a living?
No, but that's not what you're testing.
Yeah.
You're testing which is the fastest of them. So there's all show. The point that I was getting to is that the 6.7s were the fastest, period. The Revols were just behind, not miles off. The 4.5s as well, among others. So it looks like there that deeper is faster. They were the heavier wheels. Obviously, the 6.7s will weigh quite a bit more.
Yeah.
They were also the most expensive wheels. And there are so many questions in this universe for me, and I'm just frothing to go and see 3 people, same tires, same tire pressures. Like, is the data going to, if you see the same tire, same tire. They will all be the same tire. So the Tracer will be the fastest tire tomorrow. But if I'm like, just imagine all 3 of us, all 4 wheels get tested and the same one's fastest. That'd be cool. And it's a decent course to be doing. It's all gravel, pure gravel, from Dual of Wine Estates.
Pretty smooth.
More champagne than choppy, but there will be some downhill, there will be some uphill, there will be, it's proper mixed gravel, because that's what we ride here.
Yeah. So, and we got some rough stuff out
We'll
there.
target like, we've been talking about it amongst them, like ethically, like what is scientifically the best way to do this within the remit of what we have. So we'll target like a proper tempo pace. I think can't go and ride the thing zone 1 and expect to see a difference. And I think that the course will take us about 20 minutes. We all commit to a similar position. The downhills will free mill. We're going to make lines at the start and the end when you can pedal again, and you'll target the same normalized power. First run you'll do, and then your second, third, and fourth will have to match that.
No, good.
That's what's coming.
But yeah, my interest is in the agility, because, my wheels, there's also a big weight change from the 20s to the 24s. And the 20s, they feel super nimble, almost to the point where you're flipping the bike over.
Oh, yeah?
Like really. And 24s, you feel like you're driving a tank. And it just plows through everything. But when you come to turn, it's like... So the weight increase, which you're saying for the 6.7s, how does that affect your handling now? Obviously, gravel's a more straight line. You're not really worried about agility.
Well, that depends a lot. I haven't done gravel burn yet. Does that ring true there?
There will be sections.
Because Garden Ruggiero, there was some
There's some hectic stuff.
There was definitely a lot of twisty turnies, like proper passes. Was there a lot of that? Yes, 100%. Sedgefield is a good example. I'm going to try and, I'll see with Mark's blessing if we can, but to do like a long-term test with those on the Sedgefield to see how it stands up for agility and all that stuff. But I think my guess is that something like the 45 Specialized for me is always a good reference point for what is the best balance of performance, which I think is what most people will vote with in terms of what they'll spend their money on, which is pretty much all converging to a 50 front, 45 rear along those lines. And there's different variations of that versus just a 60, 65 more up front and back. Like that might be the most Aero, but there could be across all these other things that come into play.
A lot of things.
And the more you get into it, you'll know this having worked at C6. It's like the more carbon there is, the deeper that is.
Yeah.
Means the less spoke you have. The less spoke you have, the less forgiveness you can have, particularly on
a rocky,
on a steel or aluminium fork. Like that changes completely. Some of them are carbon. The difference of carbon, like there's so many variables as you go deeper. The amount of carbon that's in there will change the ride feel as well. So there's all this stuff that comes in. It's not just what's faster, it's what feels better to your points. And I think balance of the two is probably going to be where it nets out. But I didn't think balance 3 years ago would be 50-45. It was, my original gravel wheels on my giant Revolt, first gravel bike I ever had, thank you Candice, gift from my wife, were not even 30s. It's like OG mountain bike. Like there's nothing there.
Nothing to it, things have progressed so quickly just in the last 5-10 years.
Do you think that's because gravel's moving in the direction of racing? It's largely following road?
It's going to go UCI at some point. It's full on.
Well, that's a bad thing. UCI ruin everything.
It's another debate. But it's going to go full on. It already is pretty much mainstream because it's so accessible. You can bring, what was it, the Leadville. That bike, the bike that won was pretty much a mountain bike. I think it was last year. Just with drop bars and more Aero wheels. The
Dylan model.
A low travel marathon bike. So I see it's going to be a complete mashup of both road, mountain bike, and just basically a melting point for everything. And that's what makes it accessible, is because you can pretty much bring what you got, or have one bike that can do everything.
Yeah.
Can't do everything well, but it can do everything. A jack of all trades kind of vibe.
Having done that gravel bike review series, it was particularly the racier gravel bikes. And when I say do everything, that excludes proper mountain bike is the only thing that I would exclude from that. And you could say a mountain bike, well, it can do everything, but on the road it's just like it's diabolical. And for the faster gravel races, so there's always going to be trade-offs. But if I think like the Crux 5, certainly the Titan, the Cannondale, the Elves, the Giants, like each of those with a set of road wheels on,
and you
sub 3 cycle tour, no problem.
Exactly.
There's not a single road race you're going to, like, as an enthusiast, that you're going to be paying the penalty for. I mean, this in particular is under 8 kgs with road wheels. Those in gravel spec can be built sub 7 kgs.
Yeah. Goodness.
And it's, I mean, look at it's got, is this SL9 a better road bike? Of course it is. The margins it's better than. Like for me, this has properly shifted my viewpoints. And the new Giant we haven't seen or ridden yet, very similar. Aero, it looks like a road bike. Take it back a couple of years. This is an SL7.
Yeah.
It's better than an SL7, which, it's, so I think there's a lot of that. But I think that convergence is because gravel's it's over-indexing on racing. And the wheels will follow, and. To get back to the 32-inch thing, and we can put a pin in this. We could do this all day.
Yeah. Do you do much mountain biking? I haven't asked.
I've got Race to the Sea coming up, and I want to do one to Wells and Cape Epic. That's on
Race to the Sea is
on my wish list. It's the first mountain bike race I'm doing,
but it's like
this year. Yeah, it's not a race. It's not a race.
Yeah,
it is. But there is.
But
you're
like
going
single track stuff.
You're going some, so you are getting some of that, particularly when you're going through where Berg and Bush goes. There'll be quite a bit there. If I'm not mistaken, you're using some of Sani to Seas trails, which is like more manicured than a gravel race.
I did the new route because I did the last year's route over.
It's less gravel than I think you're thinking it is.
Yeah.
Because it's now Clarence to Belito.
Yes.
Which it's new.
It's new.
You cannot go from Clarence to Belito without climbing and some gnarly stuff.
True.
But it is not positioned as a
because last year
it's not Sani to Sea, it's not One to Wells, it's not Berg and Bush. It's different.
It was pretty gravel last year.
But it is a stage race. It is a mountain bike positioned thing.
Yeah.
And that is. But then, I've done One to Wells, Berg and Bush, Sani to Sea. I am very much wanting to do Cape Epic next year. There's a lot of stuff I've got to figure out to do that. But that's on my bucket list. But am I a mountain biker? No. I'm going out. My priority is gravel.
So that's why we
road.
Different sides.
But we represent more people that way.
Yeah.
I watched Mark Pritzen's recent video on the 32-inch Stoll brand that they're involved with. It was more a cinematic video of him getting there as opposed to any data analysis. I'm very interested to see what he has to say. But he's also a really big guy, really, really big guy. And I think having spoken to a lot of backdoor chats to some people locally, very credible people locally that have been involved in testing with some proper brands, the geometry is a real problem.
Yeah.
Anything shorter than 6 foot, it's borderline. It's not an option.
No, it'll be impossible.
So the question becomes, can it be faster? I think anecdotally,
for the right person,
for certain conditions and certain people, the answer will be yes. Is the bike industry going to go in on this thing like car brands did EVs and maybe think it probably wasn't the best thing to do? I think so.
But I mean, how everyone changed from 27.5s or 26 to 29s like overnight. I
don't think that's going to be this.
It won't be this.
Because
it won't be this for sure.
Unless someone figures out some diabolical way to make that geometry work, which the reason the geometry doesn't work. So this tire, for anyone that isn't aware, if you make this whole thing bigger, already if you're on this bike, you can't, and you start to turn.
You've got to make the bike longer so you don't kick the front wheel.
So all the geometry
goes It's a scaling issue.
And if you think about UCR, who are the absolute vibe killers of everything that is interesting. They want a specific aesthetic. There's a set rule for how bikes need to look, and I don't see it. Would I like to see them, for taller riders, bring something out and push the envelope? Yeah. Absolutely. Imagine Beers at Unbound on
fly.
a 32-inch.
Fly.
Will everyone come out and scream that's unfair?
Probably.
He's disadvantaged because he's taller. Well, he could just as well say, well, aerodynamically, I'm penalized, so you must be taller. And we must start mounting cardboard boxes on people. Like, it could go so many different ways. So I'm interested. What I'm hoping the industry doesn't do is try and shove a marketing gimmick down our throats and pivot everyone to something that we don't necessarily need. I cannot see
How tall are you?
how it'll work. I'm 187.
Okay.
I was 188, but when I measured at Science to Sport for this road to gravel burn, they said I've shrunk a centimeter.
Okay.
The fat off my feet maybe lowered me. Now I'm 187.
You might be able to run.
I think I'd be on the borderline of it.
You'd be borderline.
I don't know that I would want to.
No, it might be uncomfortable.
I've already got black marks on the front of my shoes.
From kicking.
These are roads, so they have less so. But
Wow.
my beautiful Recons have got some already. I'm like, I love things just the way they are. I'm quite happy that doesn't change. If one came out, I've said to Carl, I think we'll bring Stoll into the country. Like, if you get one, we'd love to do a proper review on it. And try and do like a test where we take someone like Pritzen, who's at an extreme level, and benchmark it.
Yeah, the road, I don't think it'll ever.
I'm saying a full gravel.
Yeah, but
Go and do like a gravel flat, like put that 32 in an absolute prime condition for it to decimate, and go and run like a 350 watt hard flat loop.
Yeah.
Same tires, same wheels, put that on, and let's see. With someone like Pritzen, I'm not going to be able to do those numbers. But then me, at what I can manage to hold, do the same thing. And if there's seconds difference, if there's minutes difference, like, let's see.
Now you got to test these things.
But for mountain, is it a certainty?
So mountain, that's where I'm interested in. Downhill, so I've come heavy downhill enduro background. And I don't see it going that way at all.
Okay. Why?
But just because, so I was talking about the agility, you adding that weight and rotational mass, inertia, you're going to have so much trouble kind of, especially with switchbacks, moving the bike in the air. It'll just want to go straight. That's where it'll want to go. For something like epic and marathon rides, there you'll see a lot more people adopting it. But for the enduro,
Felix did win a stage on it.
exactly. That's I was surprised because I saw at Sea Otter last year there was like one bike there that had 32, and I was for like these giants. And I was like, oh, that's interesting, but never really thought anything of it. And then when I saw him riding on the Epic, I was like, this might be something.
That was bold.
Something special.
That's a classic.
So for the long distance stuff, especially rougher, where you just need to plow through stuff, it'll be a bit of a game changer. Like how 29er was for 26.
Would Epic allow you to run a 32 and a 29?
So mullet.
So could you take your 32-inch bike on a stage that suits it, and then on the next stage use a 29 where it's more twisty? I don't know what the rules are there.
Someone was talking about changing.
Because you're allowed to swap wheels.
Yeah, but then you need.
And if you break your bike and you nurse it to the end, are you allowed to swap your bike? Are you allowed 2 bikes at Epic?
I don't.
If anyone knows the answer to this, we're going to puzzle and we'll find out after the fact, but let us know.
But yeah, having a different bike for different stages might be a bit. Well, I mean, that's Tour de France. You have your TT bike and you have your.
I'm all for it.
Yeah.
If there's a stage that suits it, and if you've got the budget at the top end of the sport, let them.
Well, for the pros
envelope.
maybe, but not for punters. Not a chance. But yeah, a mullet would be interesting. A mullet 32, 29.
Oh, Frankenstein.
There's someone's going to do it.
If Dylan Johnson was taller, he'd
I
be
know
on
that's
it.
for sure. But yeah, to see how that handles will be interesting.
Right.
But yeah, my bike's a reverse mullet. It's 24s in the front, 27.5 at the back. And that's,
Interesting hearing you talk about like how much difference it makes, and if it's making a difference there.
yeah, I know.
But it must get to a point where it's like, yeah, scientifically it would be better, but
Yeah, on paper, I was reading up. On paper, it seems like a no-brainer. But when you're actually on the bike, if you don't fit the bike properly, if the terrain is not suited for that type of wheel, then you're just going to be at a loss. So for long gravel, I see it making its way into there, just because it rolls better over everything. But
if you're a certain height,
if you're
caveat.
yeah, if you can fit in the bike and you're not just yeah. But yeah, we'll see. Let's keep a pulse, keep a finger on that pulse.
Yeah, I love that there's development. We need it. Just not when development becomes marketing
It's just
choke. Like there's a difference there. So
Well,
I think some people are going to take big swings at it. We'll be sitting back watching. Let's see. Tour de Femme.
well, yeah. Demi, goodness.
Congratulations, Demi.
Yeah.
Hell of a race. The race overall, I wish it was longer. I asked Jonita this. Why is it only as long as it is?
Funny enough, I was thinking about that the other day, and I did a whole research on the history. I mean, not an in-depth, but like a broad overview. And I mean, it's an 100-year-old event. I mean, the early 1900s. I think the first one was actually 1904. I mean, very, very early. And I mean, these guys, because I mean, it was pretty much a tour around the entirety of France. And they're doing, I think the first couple were 2,000 kilometers. But then they went up to 5,000. And they must have been on steel bikes.
Yeah.
And they were
Shifting
doing
gears.
it wasn't like a stage thing. You just had to make it
Yeah.
around the course. And they were doing it in a ridiculous time. Like, I think for the early ones, which was only like 2,600 Ks. I have to fact check me on that one. But I mean, they were doing it on like 29 hours. It's ridiculous.
That's bonkers.
I don't.
That number is right.
There's steel bikes, probably single gear, shifting on, or they're shifting on the frame, and they just blitz it. No sleep. They just went.
More like a TCR ultra type thing than what it is today.
It's insane. So to see how the event has evolved over the 100 years for men, it's interesting to see where it will now go for women. Because now it's a completely different sport from where the Tour de France started to where it is now. So them starting, which is amazing, and I want to see where it progresses to and how it shifts the sport.
What would you like to see?
I mean, obviously I want to see it longer because, I mean, they are such powerful athletes. But yeah, it just needs a bit of time to get up to that point, to evolve.
I'd love to know if anyone watching, the ladies in particular, would you like to see it longer? Would you, what are your views? My feel from this year is this was the most successful one in terms of racing, in terms of awareness, in terms of conversations going around. I feel like there's a breakthrough. I'd love to see some sort of viewership stats. I don't know that anyone would release them. I would like to see more people on the roads cheering. It's very visible, the difference between that and obviously the men's race. That will come with time, of course, as well. I would certainly like to see it longer as well. I think if this went on for another, like the men's race, at the same distance, people would just be watching women's racing for that much longer. And the racing, for me, was exceptional. We said at the start it was going to be, we guessed this is going to be very unpredictable, super dynamic. Like you're going to see, like you're just not going to know what to expect. And they race so hard and so aggressive, which I suppose you can in 7 days compared to 21. It does change things. you were mentioning how you feel like Kim may have paid the price for one really successful day over the
mean,
course of 7.
She had
But imagine that over 21.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know.
you have more opportunity to kind of build back time and
Play a different strategy.
yeah, it is a strategy game.
Yeah.
Road is very much that angle.
But for what it was, for what it is right now, I think it is exceptional, and they've hit it out the park. It is, other than the classics, the best women's race you can watch. Like it to me really does feel like the pinnacle of women's elite racing. So yeah, I just like, first thoughts is just like so phenomenal. Very annoyed on how little was televised. I was using SuperSport like most of us were, and we're getting,
No, I
at
use
the end of the day,
TNT.
okay,
Yeah, which you get a lot more coverage, and then there's the HBO, which is where you can stream everything. But I still think it's quite a bit less than the men's. But I mean, that comes with time.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, people will argue you got to earn the right, and
Yeah.
like sure, but I feel like you would take massive steps forward.
I mean,
You're gonna
it's
close
not
that gap a lot
take
quicker if
it's
you
not gonna
televise
take
it.
100 years.
Yeah, it's
Let's put it that way.
That's definitely.
It'll take a few, but it won't be long until it's a rival to the men's, which is great.
Did you enjoy the racing?
I did. Yeah, this is actually the year I've watched the most, both Tour de France and Tour de Femme. Like, there were days, it was a weekend that I watched a full stage. It was the first time I've ever done that.
Right.
And it was cool watching these guys, because I mean, they go so fast.
That's nuts how fast they are. I like that they're starting also to look at the climbing performances. So we're so used to seeing predominantly Taddy, you know, new record broken on whatever the climb is. Alpdoors, I mean, the list goes on.
And that's like
we're
8
starting to
days
see
in.
that now with the women's cycling. Greatest climbing performance in the history of women's professional cycling. Like, those headlines are cool because it does, other than the fact that you're now seeing them push the envelope at a performance level, that stuff does also have good reach. Like, it performs well on social platforms. The minutes that I have to be on them, I don't spend a lot of time on those platforms.
Yeah.
That was what I saw. It was one of the things that I saw in the YouTube algorithm. You know, one of the things that popped up there was, you know, it's that image, it's that cover, it's the title, and I'm like, cool, it brings me there.
Yeah.
And the more you do that, it definitely builds hype. So that was good.
Yeah.
That was really, really good. There were, I suppose, some of the commentary I saw around it was, you know, talking about like a negative, just an observation, is I don't understand the need to pit women and men against each other.
It's horrible.
I think it's so stupid, and I'm seeing it from men and women, more so from female accounts, where it is like the general narrative is something along the lines of people that think men's cycling is more exciting than women's cycling, and it cuts to a scene of a woman doing something very exciting on the bike. The first part is just not going to win you any. I don't think that there are a lot of very stupid people in the world. Some of them are males that have a inevitable, unexplainable and stupid outlook on female sports. Like,
Yeah.
to
Unfortunately,
give them,
they're the
to
loudest.
listen to them, like,
They're the loudest is the problem.
ignore it. Like, no one takes that seriously.
Yeah.
And when you have that sort of narrative, anyone that's maybe neutral or whatever sees that, and immediately it's like, why are we making this about men versus women? Now I feel like I've got to, I'm not saying that this was my thought, but I could certainly see it. And anecdotal conversations, people agree. Like, when I see that, it's like, now I feel like I've got to defend men. Like, just tell me that, show me the exciting thing. You don't have to mention the men part, because it's it is exciting. And there are moments that are more exciting. There are race dynamics that are more exciting, but it's not about men versus women. It's
Different
just,
event.
it's cycling. And these women are doing something amazing. And I think the less comparisons that are made, the better.
100% agree.
Much for me, like, what I think is one of the sports that have really nailed it for females, it's tennis.
100%. No, Wimbledon, I mean,
You don't hear people comparing, you know, Venus to Federer. It's just that is a beautiful sport. It is played phenomenally well, and I'd like to see the same thing. So just use it, don't use it. If you feel strongly about either or,
It'll get
call
there.
me out.
Because also Wimbledon's been around for how many decades?
Steffi
It
Graf.
takes time. And as soon as you look past the competition between men and women, which is it's stupid.
It's not even. It's not a. It's just not a thing.
They become their own unique things, and they'll match each other with time.
People who love the sport will watch it.
Exactly.
And I think what women's cycling is going to start doing is going to start bringing, like for me, why I respect Teddy so much, because he's the one that's really done it. Women will start to transcend the sport and go beyond. What you really want in female cycling is someone who doesn't watch female cycling and is a female to see something that makes them want to watch cycling and start cycling. And I think that's what's going to start happening, is already happening, which is flipping cool. Standout performers, I want to say Demi. Obviously, she won phenomenal, but Weebs for me, sprinter, is the significance of how much stronger she was than everyone else was just standout. Like the dominance that she displayed was bonkers. Demi fighting the way they did to the end and the way she sealed it off was badass.
That was dominant.
That was
100%.
That was like, I'm going to show you how dominant I am, and I dig that aggressive riding. She could have just sat on the wheel and rode to the end, but I like that she asserted herself. Good sportsmanship at the end, hearing the interviews both ways. It was, there wasn't any excuses, or it was quite humble. I couldn't go. That was the strongest cyclist out there, which is cool to see. It's great for the sport. I think that there's a lot of positives for people to take from that.
And Puck winning the climbing.
Yeah, that was. I think one of the points I was going to mention is I think I thought the jersey classifications, those the King of the Mountains,
Queen of
maybe I didn't. Yes, the Skoonme. Maybe I didn't. I just wasn't following it as intently, but it wasn't. I kind of paid less attention to that. I was very into the sprint, because Weaves has got this attention now. That's what I'm saying. When you transcend it, it's like I'm almost tuning in on a sprint page to see this incredible sprinter that I'm seeing every.
You're seeing the performance.
You know what I'm saying? And that's where it becomes very powerful. I don't know. I didn't really follow that too much.
Yeah,
but it doesn't come easy. Obviously,
it's any jersey is just an absolute feat for any of those riders. So yeah.
I think onward and upward. What I did find quite noticeable is brand dominance. Specialized must be very, very stoked with what's happening in their elite cycling, Lifetime Grand Prix. We look at when the Crux 5 was unveiled, it wasn't just the men that cleaned up. So they've got a very strong, dominant performance there.
Well,
and then
theirs was on a Crux for the gravel burn last year, I believe.
On a prototype 5.
The 4.
Yeah. I was referring to Unbound, how they cleared up the podium male and female, and now we look at from a fem's point of view, Colmargo are going to be the GC favourites for a long time to stand, and Specialized on the Tour de France Femme, they cleaned up. You've got Weebs and
it's insane.
And Demi there. So I just find that interesting. There tends to be certain brands tend to always be winning.
I think
all the time.
Cultivate sort of a team dynamic that really pushes. Because that aspect of the sport, having a good team to support you as a rider, that's so crucial.
Specialized have a very good habit of picking the winning teams, though.
Yeah.
Canyon SRAM is the other big brand winner. I think most people are familiar with the Canyon female cycling team. And I found the brand dominance in female cycling is very canyon and specialized for me, almost own the majority of the awareness there.
Yeah.
Please, if you're a female or male cyclist and you're watching this a lot, like, let me know what you think. But I pay a lot of attention to that.
Yeah, and then, I mean, I mainly look at the UAE, Tade, and Isaac Del Toro. Their whole team dynamic is so, I mean, with this last tour,
Special.
that was just insane. And they've really built something there that can push the limits of what's possible. So
I was saying to Jonita that I think the one area that the female cycling fraternity is going to benefit more from in time is that dynamic improving. What is that lady's name? Kenyan Shram. She absolutely devoured that climb and rode pretty much everyone off. I didn't see tons of that, where you'll quite often see in men's pro cycling, particularly the UAE guys, like they know how to burn their teammates to tee up certain moves. When Jonas beat Taddy and they famously 1-2'd him the way they did, I think there's probably going to be, as the female cycling net grows wider, the depth will get bigger, and you'll start to see multiple super domestiques start to arrive. And you'll have big name female cyclists working as domestiques for certain teams. I think when that develops,
then you'll have a real.
I think there's going to be a lot of dominance though as well. I think you're going to find it'll be difficult to beat the team that gets ahead of that first. So
It is a game of chess.
Yeah, high speed, high stakes.
Sacrificing your pieces to get your king to the end. Yeah.
Do you agree with that sentiment though? Do you think there is that the team dynamic is maybe
it's crucial
more to develop there, or do you think they're already there? They're at the same level, and I'm talking.
I didn't see the same level on the women's side. It will progress. I have no doubt there, but it needs a bit more investment. Not necessarily with money, but with people really wanting to push this to the limits, and it'll come.
Yeah, I can't
wait to see.
This Tour de France must have done absolute wonders. Like I really feel like it was a significant tick up.
And seeing the spectators just for the men, like they were usually on a downhill. There's a couple people. There was one, must have been like day 19 or 20. And there were literally thousands of people on a downhill.
Probably around the Alpe d'Huez stage, which was the record breaking. They estimate between 500,000 and 1 million people.
It was ridiculous. Like how on earth do you get so many people that you have people lining up on a downhill, and you're seeing these guys there for 5 seconds because they're blasting past you at 80 k's an hour.
I'm on the fence with it though. Like I like it and I don't like it. Like I wish there was a way to just push it back a bit so it's not so. I feel like it does hinder the ability for the bike to move, which does have an impact on the race. There's no question.
I think on the downhill they stick clear, but on the uphill.
My statement's more in general. Like the downhill, the uphill, it's just there's so many idiots, and I know it's part of the sport, and can it not be part of the sport with a barrier that keeps the imbeciles away from doing what they do? Like when they.
I do understand you.
That's the one part of it.
There are moments where I'm like, really?
What I would be interested to see is if they had sent the woman up Alpe d'Huez, the turnout on that climb, because being an iconic climb, people want to go there. I think it's like it brings its own sort of vibe. That Col d'Huez, I've actually been up that Col d'Huez. It was quite cool to watch it and see like, I've done that climb. I'm going to check my segment. Nice to see how much slower you are. But it would be, that's like in the middle of Nice. That's a busy area. It's super tight. I'm surprised they went up and down there so many times. It would be cool to see them on that climb. Yeah. Like they went up what was that big one they went up? The men also went up there. I actually watched that stage of the Tour de France last year. It'll come to me now.
But my sentiment on the barrier thing. So I'm a big car guy as well, big rally fan, And if you look at the 80s Group B rally, where there are people standing in the middle of the road with this car coming around, it's like a ton or two of metal hurling at you at 150 k's an hour. And these people are jumping out the way. So, but once they kind of restricted that, it kind of killed off the sport a bit. So,
Okay, interesting.
So that's, you need sort of that
happy medium.
You need to find that medium. Obviously, they have the barriers for the sprints and those last probably 3 or 4 Ks for every stage. And if it's dangerous, then they'll put barriers up. But I think you also do need that kind of, the chaos has an appeal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if I look at the shots that came out of Rwanda, my favorite shots. So yeah, you're 100% right.
Yeah.
Seeing that was
some pull, some real character to it. If you try to restrict everything, then you'll kill it off quite quickly.
Yeah,
so
that balance is critical.
It needs a balance.
That's why I should never be in the rulemaking department. I got that one wrong. Thank you for the perspective.
Yeah. I did enjoy watching this year. It was great, both the tour and the film.
I look forward to more, and I hope that there is a continual coverage job done. So I think that will carry it. I'm sitting here thinking, like, what's the next thing Demi's doing? When am I going to see Weeb sprint again?
Yeah.
If she is it going to be on TV? Can I actually watch it? Or I'm relying on, this is where YouTube is so critical. Like, a lot of it is there. Lantern Rouge, again, flippin' epic job. He covered that race so well. Like, anything I did miss, I could catch up there. More of that, I think, is super critical. And those things all combined, we'll see it grow and grow.
Watching highlights. Yeah, I mean, I obviously don't have time to watch every stage. So having a good highlight reel of everything that went on, whether it's 5 minutes or 30 minutes, it can vary. But having a good collection of what happened that day, that stage, is also crucial to push it on. YouTube is great.
Yeah.
And that's that platform.
And I encourage people that are pro these, if this matters to you and you want to see women's cycling improve, and if you want to see more of this stuff, subscribe to these channels.
Yeah.
Like, subscribe to them, comment on them, say, hey man, great video. Subscribe to us as well and comment on ours as well. We do also need it. It does help more than you would imagine, because they, Lantern Rouge and the many others, like their fundamental means for survival is channel sponsors.
Yeah.
And based on the viewership, they earn a certain amount of income. We, as an example, with our current viewership, everything combined, average 1,000 to 1,500 a month. It's what this channel generates in revenue. It's like, for them, obviously their numbers are far higher.
Yeah.
And the more they do that, they will literally see the analytics correlate to female coverage equals X.
Yeah.
The greater that is, the more they'll do it. So that there is an element of us as consumers having the ability to support through just watching, leaving a comment, and subscribing on these things. And it like costs you nothing. And that is one thing every single person can do that wants to see any form of cycling and media improve. Just go and do those 3 things. It's not like it's an ad that's going to follow you around. Like, when you go into YouTube, it's going to be there. It's like super non-intrusive, and like, it's one thing you can do.
Yeah. It supports a lot of people.
Use it, don't use it. Like I say, helps us. So
Sweet.
Don't feel obliged, but it does help. Subscribe.
Perfect.
Bryce, has been so cool having you, man.
No, it's been a pleasure.
Pranita, thank you for introducing Bryce and I. This was super simple. Sorry it took me so long to get back to you. I was over-indexing on my family time for this long weekend. I'm so thrilled that you came. And
pleasure to be here.
You're welcome here anytime. I will, please come pop on back round, especially if there's any upgrades and that kind of stuff you do to your bike. I think it'll be really cool to keep covering that.
One day I'll bring the bike around.
Yeah, like I said, we will do a focus story there. But if there's just like, hey man, we're doing this thing, trying this, whatever, let us know. Because as we go in this build up to Gravelburn, it would be cool to have your perspective as well. So you will be seeing more of Bryce, and just really appreciate you coming through.
No, for sure.